Have any of you guys ever woke up one day and said, listen, all my hair gots to go? I definitely have. I'm going to tell you about that story. We're going to talk about why big chops are necessary and how you can set your goals for 2019. Let's get to it. Hey, this is Rana Campbell, your Chief Dream Driver, and welcome to the No Parking Podcast, where through conversations and discussions with creators like yourself, we'll find interesting approaches to help you take your dreams out of park, put them in drive, and ride towards success. Hey, Dream Drivers, welcome to episode 184 of the Dreams and Drive podcast. And today's episode is going to be a short but sweet one. We are going to be talking about the topic big chops and why they're necessary. Yes, I'm talking about natural hair big chops, but we're also going to be talking about just taking chops in your life and why you need to strategically cut things out. Anyway, before we get into the episode, remember, please make sure you are following us on social. We are Dreams and Drive across the board on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram, and you can use the hashtag Dreams and Drive as well. And make sure you are subscribed. Wherever you're listening, please make sure you hit the subscribe button so that every time we have a new episode, you get notified. And if you're listening in Apple Podcasts or iTunes, please leave us a review. Thank you to everybody who has left reviews. They help other people find out about the show. They also increase our ratings in Apple Podcasts. So this week's review is coming from Cecil, and she says, Lifeline for growth and encouragement. I do not know how I found this podcast, but now it is not a hidden secret anymore amongst my friends, colleagues, and I. This has been one of the most inspiring and informative podcasts I have listened to in my library. I have become addicted to this podcast since it touches upon aspects of success, drive, and determination. The topics are always timely and on point in regards to what listeners need to be able to drive their dreams. I most of all appreciate Raina's honesty and candor and consistency with the podcast being ready every Monday morning. It's Starbucks or caffeine every Monday morning. Thanks. I really try to be on time and consistent. As I told you, this podcast was a experiment to myself. What would happen if I showed up for myself every week? So since 2016, I've been trying to do that for you guys. And I really love that you share it with your friends, your family, your colleagues. You guys, if you love this podcast, please do that, because without you, I couldn't grow the community. And remember, if you want to hear your review in the next episode of Dreams and Drive, leave a rating and a review on Apple Podcasts or iTunes. So you guys know I love books, and there is a book that I got my hands on that we are going to be giving away. Do you remember episode 104 with Jen Sincero? And we talked about You Are a Badass at Making Money. Well, Jen has a new book out, and it is called You Are a Badass Every Day, How to Keep Your Motivation Strong, Your Vibe High, and Your Quest for Transformation Unstoppable. And I just started digging into this book, and I'm really enjoying it. It's a quick read. So if you want to enter to win, we're giving away one copy. Just go to dreamsanddrive.com/win. That's dreamsanddrive.com/win. I love sharing books with you guys, so I have the opportunity for you guys to enter. So please enter. This is Jen Sincero's book, our episode 104 guest. And her new book is You Are a Badass Every Day, How to Keep Your Motivation Strong, Your Vibe High, and Your Quest for Transformation Unstoppable. So today's episode is called Big Chops Are Necessary. So first off, let's define what a big chop is for all of you guys who don't know. So in the natural hair community, a big chop is normally when you cut your hair off to either a teeny weeny afro, if you cut it off after transitioning. But basically, let's say you had 18-inch hair. A big chop would be if you came back from the barber or the hair salon with like 1-inch hair, you cut it all off. You're usually starting fresh, starting new, just tired of the old. They call it a big chop. So back in September of 2017, I actually big chopped. I was going through some things in my life, and I'm like, you know what? I was kind of feeling lost and confused, and I don't know. I just felt like I've been holding on to this hair for so long. So I've been natural my entire life, and I just was in this point with my hair where it just wasn't growing. I had got a silk press and it just never reverted back. And I was holding on to these strangly ends, heat damage. I don't know. I was like, you know what? I called my best friend and was like, girl, send me somebody who can cut this ish off. And so she sent me some options. That same day, I found someone who could cut my hair off. I ended up overpaying for it, but whatever. My hair was gone. And you know what's crazy? For years, like I want to say years, my friends were telling me, girl, you just need to do a big chop and you need to just cut off that damaged hair and start over. And for years, I was just so nervous about it. I was just like, no, I don't want to cut off my hair. Oh, I don't want to have short hair. I have a big head. I can't have like no hair in my head. And so when the hairdresser handed me the mirror after doing the chop and like, whatever she did to it, I was so scared to look in the mirror. But then at first, when I did, I was like, ugh. And then I was like, wait, girl, you kind of cute. And here's the crazy thing. The months after that, my hair grew and grew and grew and flourished and flourished and flourished. Like my little teeny weeny afro after my big chop was so cute. I used to twist it up with gel, with my TGIN. Yes, I love TGIN. Their Twist and Define cream is my favorite. I used to twist it up with that, do little twist outs. I was popping. And I had this renewed confidence. Like it was like when you don't have hair, because as a woman, your hair is tied to your beauty. A lot of times your hair is tied to your confidence, your self-worth, how you think other people see you. So when you have less of it, you feel like you have to overcompensate in other ways. Or I felt like I had to do that. But I just started to embrace my little teeny weeny afro and realize that like I was beautiful with or without it hair. And it's funny because I had this epiphany a few weeks ago after taking out my braids. So if you follow me on social media, please make sure you guys are. My personal social media account is Rain Shine Love, RAINSHINELUV. I had single box braids for a few months. And so I was taking that hair out a little while ago and I realized that my hair, in let's say 1 year and 2 months of after a big chopping, cutting it off, having a teeny weeny afro, my hair was longer than it had ever been. It was longer than it originally was when I big chopped. And I said, wait, what? All this growth? And here I was stalling. I was stalling to do this for so long, only for all that hair to grow back and be even better, be stronger, shining way more than it ever was. And then I thought about like, did this play out in other parts of my life too? Like you guys know, I quit my job this past summer and I was just thinking about how for so long I kind of wanted to quit my job and I was telling people about it, but I just didn't do it. And when I finally quit, I said, wait, this is what I was like. I realized that I had all this fear and I was like anticipating what would happen. And these past few months since quitting, I have had so many opportunities come to me. So many great things are happening in Dreams and Drive in my own life. And I realized that I was holding on to something for so long because I thought I wouldn't have been able to handle it. I was holding on to my hair, literally and figuratively, because I thought without it, I would not be the same. I thought without it, my life would be different. And I know it sounds crazy in retrospect because now I'm like, oh, it was so easy. But no, it wasn't easy. It was a process. It took me years to come to the point where I just had to wake up one day and I was like, you know what? I'm tired of this hair. It has to go. And it was literally like that. And I think a lot of times in our life, we need to make those big chops. We need to just make the decisions and go. And I'm somebody who has a hard time making decisions. And it's just something that I've always kind of been that person who's hesitated, that person who feels like they have to research everything, has to get a whole bunch of opinions. And I realized, no, sometimes you just need to make decisions and let it go. Let it go and figure it out. Make decisions and just keep going. That's the step to progress, is to make a decision. Don't sit and ponder on things. Sometimes you just got to make a decision and respond to whatever that is. And if things don't work out, it's all right. You can figure out how to make things work out. And if things work out, then it's great too. So I'm telling you guys this because as we're heading into 2019, I'm thinking about what are things that we need to big chop? What are these, things that we just need to start fresh? Let it go. However you want to define it. There are big chop moments that I hope you take in 2019. For me, back in 2017, it was my hair. And in 2018, I saw my hair flourish by me letting go of all that old hair, all that dead weight, and just making a decision and moving with it. Because sometimes you think you won't like the decision, and it will take time for that decision to grow on you, and it will take time for you to see why you had to do it, but it will all make sense. So in 2019, I want you to think about what are some ways you can big chop goals. Are there things in your life that you really want to attack, but you're just so scared, you're just so fearful? Just pick one of them. I'm telling you, in 2019, Q1 of 2019, from January to March, pick one thing that you just want to attack, make a decision about, and go for it. Maybe you got to big chop your circle. Maybe you got to big chop relationships, friendships, whatever it is. Maybe there are things in your life, people in your life that you have to let go in some way. And it doesn't necessarily have to mean that you take them out of your life, but maybe you take them out of your decision-making process. I talk about this a lot on the podcast. One of my personal struggles have just been even as a 27-year-old seeking parental approval for things, or just wanting to be validated by them, or just seeking their, opinions, or just caring about what they think a lot of times. So one thing that I think that we all can relate to is sometimes you got to downgrade people's positions in your life. Not everyone deserves to be in the driver's seat or the passenger seat with you. Maybe they have to be in the back seat. Maybe they have to be in the third row. But there are people who you need to big chop that passenger seat and put them somewhere else, especially if they're not helping you get to where you have to go. Big chop the negativity. That could be internally and externally. What things are you saying to yourself that are setting seeds and growing inside of you without you even knowing it? You got to go and do some pruning internally. Prune that. You really have to go in, get some weeds out, pull out the weeds, make sure that weeds are not infiltrating your garden. And that starts from within, and even externally as well. What are things that are just negative energy? Maybe it's a lamp in your room that just, it's just not vibing with where you are now. Get rid of it. Put it somewhere else. Really define your space, because they say what's that phrase? I know my mom used to say it to me all the time in a Jamaican accent. Something about a messy place is a messy mind, or something like that. So I really, really, really just want you to think about what are some big chops that you can make. And they don't have to be expensive. They don't have to be life altering. They could just really be small things. And you'll see the benefit of you doing that. But one thing I want to say is, okay, don't go all crazy, big chop and everything now. I'm not recommending you just live this radically different life in 2019. I just want you to really focus on one thing that you feel like you've been holding on to, or one thing that you just need to make a decision on and do. Cut it. Grow it, whatever it is. Like I said, for me in 2017, the end of the year, it was just letting go of my hair and letting myself flourish. I would love to hear from you guys. What is it that you're holding on to? What's keeping you in neutral? Sometimes even going in reverse is better than being in neutral. Sometimes you have to back up out of whatever the situation is that you're in, the mindset, the location, whatever. Sometimes you have to back up to get back into drive. So don't feel like backing up and taking a step back is bad, because it's not. It's really, really not. I'm thinking about my big chop and I cut my hair and I was free to move. I cut my hair, but I had to learn how to adjust, and I made it out okay. But the thing was, I wouldn't have been able to tell myself it's going to be okay until I had done it. Like, I had to do it first and face the feelings that I was feeling, and then I couldn't go back once I cut it, so I just had to adjust to it, right? I know I'll definitely be doing some more big chops in 2019, but I can't say it right now. Sometimes you just gotta do it and show up and be like, surprise. We're going to have another episode this week. The episode coming out on Thursday will be a listener question and answer, and it's going to be all about how to create an elevator pitch. So I get a lot of questions about that. So I thought maybe we could just do the Q&A short episodes this week. If you haven't already listened to episode 183 with Lily Doxy, she talks about sponsorships, events, how she built her corporate career at Verizon. Please go back and listen to it. It's really, really great. Thank you to everybody who has been pitching me. As you know, I'm looking for Dreams and Drive guests for 2019. So if you know of someone who you think would be great for the show, or if you want to nominate yourself, just go to dreamsanddrive.com/pitch. And I'm also writing for XO Nicole now. So if you guys have any business related stories that you want to pitch me separately from Dreams and Drive, you can also just email me as well. I'm always listening, always out here on Instagram trying to find out great business stories or things to just talk about. Don't forget to enter our giveaway of the week. I know we're talking about big chops in this episode, but Jen Sincero's new book is called You Are a Badass. Every day, how to keep your motivation strong, your vibe high, and your quest for transformation unstoppable. So if you want to enter to win a copy of that book, it's really, really good. It's really motivational, and it's a quick read. Just go to dreamsanddrive.com/win. That's dreamsanddrive.com/win. Thank you to everybody who is subscribing and leaving reviews. I appreciate it. I love going into Apple Podcasts and iTunes and just reading what you guys are saying. Please leave a rating and a review, and I will read your review in the next episode. Show notes are available at dreamsanddrive.com. And if you want to join our weekly newsletter, The Keys, just go to dreamsanddrive.com/join to sign up. And you can also access our Facebook group by going to dreamsanddrive.com/Facebook, or you can simply just type in Dream Driver Mastermind the next time you're logged on. All right, please make sure you share this with a friend, screenshot it, share it on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, wherever. Send it to somebody who you think needs some inspiration to make that big chop in their life. Whether they've been talking about it, but they're so nervous. Like, after conquering the fear comes the rainbow, right? Like, it's really, really, really just telling yourself that no matter what happens, you'll be able to handle it. So even if you make a decision and it turns out to be the wrong decision, you can navigate it. That's the thing about being a dream driver. You have the steering wheel in your hands. And sometimes wherever you decide to steer your car won't always be the right location for you now, but it's a location that you had to get to in order to go to where you need to go. And if you want to get some Dreams and Drive gear, we really only have hoodies and sweatshirts left. Go to dreamsanddrive.com/shop, dreamsanddrive.com/shop. I think I have like one gray medium tee and a large pink tee left. So yeah, just go to dreamsanddrive.com/shop to shop. Please, I'm trying to get rid of this last round of inventory before the end of the year. So things are on sale. You definitely can cop something last minute for a gift or a holiday surprise to yourself. All right, keep dreaming, keep driving, and we'll chat again in episode 185. And remember, it's going to be a listener question and answer. Bye, guys.